Have you ever stopped and wondered why nobody seems to trust anybody anymore? Why people are guarded, cold, and very suspicious, always waiting for the other shoe to drop? It's not because the world suddenly got filled with bad people. It's because everybody has been burned. And truth is, nobody wants to get burned again. You know what I'm talking about. Welcome to TinderBox IRL, where conversations ignite and nothing gets sugar-coated. Around here, we talk about real life, and if you're interested in that, stick around. You are in good company. It doesn't seem that long ago, trust was normal. You could trust your neighbor. You could trust a handshake because it meant something. You could also trust somebody to keep their word. Nowadays, people read 5 layers into a text message. It seems like people will assume the worst way before they'll ever assume the best. And most of us, we keep our guard up like it's armor. It seemed like not that long ago, people would treat each other with general respect, and you could almost rely on their honesty. You could trust a handshake because it meant something to the person. You could trust somebody's word because they wouldn't break it for anything. There was more shame behind breaking your word and having that go around than standing on your word. It's just not the same today. Have you noticed that? If you have, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I can honestly say that when I was growing up, I remember being able to leave our car unlocked. I remember leaving our doors unlocked. Those thoughts today, those are almost unthinkable and unimaginable. Why would you leave your door unlocked anywhere? Well, here's the truth. The truth is that trust didn't disappear. It's just gotten worn down. You see it all the time. People will lie on the news, online, everywhere we go, with no consequences. People ghost rather than being honest. People will cheat to try to come up. They'll lie. They'll take advantage of any situation they can. They'll steal from you. They'll use you. And then they'll pretend like they're the victim. And why do they do that? Because everything feels disposable now. And it seems like when people continue to get hurt, they stop giving the next person the benefit of the doubt. We've all seen it. I've seen folks pretend to be good people just long enough to get what they want. Maybe not a big deal, but something as simple as, I'll be there for you. And then when you need them, they're not there. I have my own personal experience with that. I think that all of us can probably relate to that in one fashion or another. All right, well, we're going to have to say something about it. Social media has done something weird to us. What does it do? It makes you feel like you know somebody that you've never even met. All you need is to see a clip or a post, and the first thing we think, hey, they're being honest. This is all real. They're trustworthy. They seem like me. But here's the thing. Online, people can and they will edit out their flaws. They can curate their personality and they can filter their intentions. Real trust, we all know where that comes from. It comes from life, not from a screen. Yeah, so I have my own personal experience with this and I'll share that with you. It's been just a little over 4 years now. I actually met some YouTubers. It was my first time meeting them and I happened to follow those channels. And when I met them, I learned 2 very valuable lessons that I will not forget ever. Lesson number 1 was I knew them. They didn't know me, which was a surprise because when I introduced myself, it was off-putting for the other person because I felt like I knew them and I was a stranger to them. And the second big lesson I learned was who I met online was nothing like what I met in person. And it was a surprise to me. It was an awakening, if you will. Yeah, so what does that mean? That means that when you can build or portray something that you're not, and then somebody gets a glimpse of who you really are, that breaks that trust. It makes you feel like, who can you trust? What can you trust? We all see it every day. We be struggling, watch TV. You never know. Today they tell you it's okay, and then tomorrow it's not. We never know what to believe and what not to believe. And then life gets harder, so we start to get more protective. And that's okay, because you need to protect yourself. Yeah, right now, money's tight. People are stressed to the maximum. And it seems like everybody is overwhelmed. Yeah. And when people are stretched as thin as they are, they don't have the emotional capacity to trust people slowly. So what do? We assume the worst to protect ourselves from any unexpected, unpleasant experiences. Let me ask you, have you found yourself doing the same thing? Are you putting up barriers and guards to protect yourself? Have you ever felt let down and like you can't trust? Holler in the comments below. And if you're watching TV, give me a thumbs up. It's all right. We can see it out here even in the country where people are typically very disconnected. People don't trust anymore. They're not as happy anymore. People aren't willing to help or give as much as it seems like they used to. It seems like everybody's guarded and sheltered, trying to protect. So when my wife and I moved out to our secret location, we thought that trust would come much easier, that we would feel more confident in the community that we were in. But we were wrong. We gave trust. We invited people into our lives. And we learned the lesson that we had learned so many times before, but we must have forgotten that not everybody is in it for the same thing. It seems like a lot of people are in it for what they can get out of it. And that's okay if you say that. But when they pretend that they're your friend and then they hurt you, it leaves you feeling helpless, it leaves you feeling lost, and it makes you feel like you don't want to trust anymore. Why would I? Why gamble that? Have you guys noticed that? It seems like as I was growing up, there was a lot less of that. We used to stay over somebody else's house. Today, you can't even let your kid walk down the street. It's crazy. In Halloween, guys, they post where not to let your children go. This is a society that becomes very scary everywhere we turn. And it makes it very difficult when you don't know who to trust, when you don't know what is real. When you've been burned over and over, it can make you very calloused and very closed off from any situation. And it really does rob us of a lot of life experiences because not everybody is bad. Not everybody has a motive that is not pure or genuine. There are good people and they deserve our compassion and our love and our understanding. It's just hard to find that inside to trust somebody enough with what we see today. Do you agree? What do you think about it? Have I lost my mind? Maybe. I can tell you that what I truly believe people really want, right? We don't all want to be sheltered off, sheltered in place, guarded, protected. We are by nature social butterflies. Most of us, we want that connection with other people. What is it that we want? We want to just be able to trust without having to question, without having to worry what the situation has to offer. We just want to be able to trust that the motives are genuine and that we don't have to question it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I feel much better when you do what you say and you say what you do. And you also say what you mean. I'm not really good at trying to decipher big codes, right? I'm very simple, and to me, hey, my name is Marcel, and I like you, and I want you to be my friend. That is straightforward. Not, hey man, what's up? You know, all that, what can I get? Enough of that. That's not what we want. We want that connection, me and you. It has to be real. It can't be stressed on whether you want something from me or I want something from you. It just has to be, and it can be okay. So if you feel like you're having a struggle with trusting others, I want you to know that you're not alone. A lot of us feel that way. Don't let this turn you bitter or hard. Let it make you wiser. The best advice we can give is to trust slowly. Pay attention. Keep your circle small but strong. And don't try to rush the process. Real people, we still exist. We've just met them quietly, one at a time. So I have a little insight into trust. And if I was going to share something with people in hopes to try to maybe soften the edges on that or make it easier, the perfect place to start is to trust yourself. You can never ever trust anybody any more than you can trust yourself. And you can trust yourself. Your instincts aren't lying to you. We can be off sometimes, but when those bells and whistles, they go off, we know it. And then we allow ourselves to be let down, to be disappointed, to be hurt, to be lied to. And we use all these things as excuses to shelter off again. And then to blame ourselves. I did it again. I'm so stupid. Why do I keep doing this? It's in human nature for people to want what you have. And they're not ever gonna just be honest with you because they're sheltering off as well. Their own shames, their own guilts. They don't probably feel real good about wanting to take something from you and leave you with a dagger in your back. It doesn't feel good. Those victories don't actually feel like wins. They feel like something else. So when you're struggling and you're trying to trust somebody else, you check yourself first, because once again, you're only going to trust somebody else as much as you trust yourself. So before I close this out, I want to hear from you. What is that one thing out of probably many that made you start not trusting other people? Yeah, drop that in the comments. You never know. Your situation might help somebody else not feel alone. Once again, we're all in this one together. Hey, and if conversations like this matter to you and you're just tired of the fake stuff out there and you just want a place that we keep things real, go ahead and subscribe. This is the kind of talking we're going to do every day. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you more than you know. Take care of yourselves out there and make sure you take care of those ones that prove that they're worth trusting. This is TinderBox IRL because somebody had to say it.